Hey besties, welcome back to my channel, or welcome to my channel if you are new here. My name is Lorena and today we are doing a little life update chit chat situation. My son is in school, baby girl is napping, got my coffee. This is the espresso one with coconut creamer and sweet cream cold foam. So yum. I also usually add like a sugar, whether it be like white, raw, or brown sugar, but I'm trying to like slowly lessen my sugar intake. So this clearly already has a bunch of sugar in it from the sweet cream cold foam and the creamer. So I'm trying to like get my taste buds a little used to less and less and less sugar. Today we're just gonna chit chat. We're just gonna go over like what has been happening in my life. I feel like I haven't, even on Instagram, I haven't like chatted with you guys for a while. So we're just gonna, I guess, just talk and just give you guys the 411, letting you guys in on what kind of has been happening lately. I have been sharing a little bit on Instagram that I've just been struggling a little bit lately. The mental health kind of has been going up and down. I'm obviously still postpartum-ish, you know. I'm like 7 months postpartum now, so, and I'm still breastfeeding, so I feel like the hormones are still kind of like going up and down. I also got my period. I got my period kind of early, which is extremely annoying. So it's like between being postpartum in general, still breastfeeding, but then also having my period, I feel like my hormones definitely do like go on a roller coaster ride because of all of those things. So that is not very fun, and I feel like we're just jumping right into the deep end here, but I feel like I've been struggling a little bit with like adult friendships, old friendships. Just like I don't want to get like into the details, but I feel like when you just start, you know, when you get older, it's friendships sometimes can get more complicated, but then at the same time they're also a lot more simple. I feel like when you have healthy adult relationships, they're extremely simple. Like I have a few girlfriends who are just like my ride or dies, and it's like I feel like sometimes I struggle with that like desire to have that friendship that you see in movies, right? Where like you're always at each other's houses, or you're like talking 24/7, and that is not always realistic. So I feel sometimes my brain gets like stuck in wanting that, you know, and like I don't have a sister, so it's like I don't have that either. I've always wanted that, so it's kind of this weird like sometimes like unrealistic expectation of what friendships are. But then at the end of the day, I like think about, you know, my 2 to 3 like girls that I have, and like I talk to my husband about this a lot, where I'm just like, these are my ride or dies. It's like we might not talk every single day, and that's literally so okay because we're adults. People work, people have families to take care of. But I bet you if I texted my girls right now and I said, hey, I need something, or hey, I'm struggling and I could use support in this way, they would show up for me immediately. That's where I always end those thoughts, or like those if I'm ever like feeling insecure about friendships or whatever, I always make myself end those thoughts with no. Even though it might only be like 2 or 3, I have amazing friends. I literally have the best friends. I feel like it's natural to want and miss those friendships from, you know, when you're in elementary school, when you were in middle school, when you're in high school. It was like forced proximity friendships, you know. Like I'm sure lots of the friendships were genuine, but at the same time you were forced to be in a classroom together, you were forced to be at the same campus together every single day. So it makes sense that those friendships, you talked every single day, you texted all the time, because that's all that your life is. It's just school. Maybe you had a part-time job, but that's your whole life, is just school and your friends. So it makes sense that you're talking every single day. Like your friends are your whole entire life. But now at 30, life looks a little bit different, and kind of letting go of that expectation is, I feel like, something that I've struggled with throughout the years. I feel like lately that was something that has been difficult for me, or something that I've been struggling with. That's kind of a long little spiel, but that was kind of like the biggest thing, TBH. Another thing that happened recently was Noah started swimming lessons, and it was so much freaking fun. So both Tommy and I with Delilah went to take him to swimming lessons, and it was the cutest thing. He, like, sometimes he can be shy, in like new places with unfamiliar people, but he loved it. He was like not super shy. He was speaking up, he was answering questions, he was participating. I think because the class was so small, it was just the instructor and 2 other kids, so 3 of them total, and he was having so much fun. So he wanted to go from his swimming lessons straight to going to a pool. I'm like, baby, we don't have a pool. Like we don't have time right now to go swimming. So we are probably gonna make plans for some of the swimming lesson days to go to the pool like directly after, and I feel like that's the best time to go because he's like fresh, you know, the excitement is there, and then the things that he's learned or practiced, we can go implement them at the pool right after. So we are planning to do that. And the only thing right now is because Delilah is so tiny, we need 2 adults with us, 1 to hold Delilah and 1 to play with Noah. So that makes things a little bit more difficult, but we'll figure it out. We will make it happen. If we have to go ask his grandparents to come with us, then we'll have to do that too. But he is loving swim lessons so far, and I'm so excited. I have to ask Mari because she was the one who was telling me about this swim school. But Mari, if I don't text you before this video goes live, answer this question for me. He is in a certain like swim group. This first lesson, at least, they stayed at the stairs. They're kind of getting the kids familiar with like putting their head underwater and all that kind of stuff. In this group, do they actually learn to swim? Do you know what I'm saying? Like, do they actually go from like learning to dunk their head in the water to actually like going to the area where they can't reach and actually learning to swim? Or is it like this entire like 9-week session they're only familiarizing themselves with the water, and then the next session is when they actually learn to do breaststroke and freestyle and actually like have life-saving swim skills? I never thought to ask that when I was inquiring about the swim school. I feel like that's a good question to ask. That's been happening lately. Another thing that has been so much fun, you guys, is that I am in my like Miyazaki Studio Ghibli era right now. So I think randomly I saw a like Kiki's Delivery Service like TikTok or something like that, and I'm like, that was cute. What is it called? Like illustration or aesthetic or whatever. I'm like, oh, let me go watch that. So I found it on Max, like HBO Max. So I watched it, and it was the cutest movie ever. And I have not watched many of these movies. So I watched Ponyo when I was in like 9th grade, but I was at my friend's house and it was like her idea, so I wasn't really like paying attention too much. So I don't like fully remember what happened in that movie. But I watched Kiki's Delivery Service, Howl's Moving Castle, and then I watched Ponyo, and then I watched My Neighbor Totoro. And then last night, you guys, I tried to watch Spirited Away and I could not finish it. I think just where I was mentally, that wasn't the movie for me in that moment. And to give you an example, I ended up watching The Secret World of Arrietty, and I am freaking obsessed. That was the cutest. So it's like that and Kiki's Delivery Service are either tied, or The Secret World of Arrietty is like #1. So I think I needed something more like cozy, bright, happy, versus Spirited Away was darker and a little bit like more scary and a little bit like creepier. And I think just where I was last night mentally, that's not what I was wanting to watch. So I will be finishing that a different time, but I know that's like so many people's favorite Studio Ghibli movie, so I definitely will give it its fair chance. But I knew that last night wasn't me giving it a fair chance. Secret World of Arrietty was literally the cutest thing, and I am freaking obsessed. I feel like, especially because I know she's not a fairy, but it's obviously like fairy vibes, and I am loving fairies right now. Like my daughter's first birthday is going to be fairy themed, and I'm so freaking excited. So I've been watching those. Again, I have Spirited Away next, I have A Castle in the Sky next, and then that's all that I can think of off the top of my head. But I will probably be looking for more to check out because they are so cute. I am also terrified about what is potentially going to happen to TikTok. I will still be posting here on YouTube and on my Instagrams and stuff, but I will be absolutely heartbroken if TikTok actually does go away. That'll be so heartbreaking for so many reasons. I don't know, I feel like is that it? I'm sure there's more I could just yap about and chit chat forever, but I feel like that's kind of mainly like the things that have been going on. Tommy and I celebrated our 5th wedding anniversary yesterday, so that was fun. We didn't really do much, we kept it really chill. We just had like a family day, so that was nice. I'm honestly in a little bit of a slump trying to figure out what to post here on YouTube, so if you guys have any suggestions then let me know. But yeah, that's gonna be it for this video. I hope you enjoyed this just little chit chat catch up session, and I will see you guys in the next one. Love you. Bye. Would you follow me, or would you let it be? If I leave tonight, we could do this right. We'll find the remedy, or would you stay with me?